Hello, welcome to the latest edition of the DataStax's C# Hour. Today we are going to be getting into, or back into, the Cassie schema migrator for Apache Cassandra and DataStax's Enterprise. And also, as always, feel free to ask questions. Stop me if I'm doing anything confusing. Use this as a learning experience as well as anything else. I am building an application that I'll use in production, but this is all about the learning experience. So be sure to jump in accordingly whenever you have questions and such. And also just have fun. You know, that's another important aspect of this. All right. So without further ado, we'll get rolling here. I'm just booting my machine up here. And then we're going to flip around the image so you can see what I'm doing. There's Cassie schema migrator. We'll get that open. All right, there we go. Slowly loading. Man, when this project gets big, it's going to be kind of nuts because Nyan Cat's really going to have to work hard. My buddy Travis is back. Got some co-hackers in the space today. Want to say hello?
Hello. Hi. There it is.
Now everyone has met Travis.
Thank you.
Let's see here. Still just waiting for one thing to boot up here on the back end. I'll dig in here. Also, let me know if the music is too loud, because, you know, that can be detrimental to educational purposes. Oh, look at there. I got myself hosted. Okay, getting into the code now. Where's my little penguin? There we go. Okay. Got the app open here in JetBrains Writer. Last session. Let's see here. What did we do? So I've been building it out where the test, basically the setup is a bunch of actual schema migration files here get put into a directory during the build-up and breakdown of each test. Now, I know to some degree that doesn't make it a unit test anymore. That makes it an integration test, but that's exactly what I need at this point. So each of these files is built out in the directory and then torn down at the end of each test. So, and right now I just have it literally in each test like this, and it builds it up, starts the migration path process, and we get the files loaded in, and then we select either up or down based on the method call. Now, if I run all these tests, I've also, per last session, set it up so that the tests will break for whatever it is that is next up. So we're doing red-green, test-driven development style approach here of integration tests. So don't scream at me for diverting a little bit from the unit test paradigm here. But it's a good way to also keep a task list of where we are, what works, what doesn't work, and what we need to do next. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the next step in this process is to actually start executing the actual migration. So we'll have to write some CQL and get that injected into the files this session. As currently, I believe I still just have the files, and the content of the files is just like select asterisk table, which is not really acceptable in this situation as a migration. There we go. So from the test perspective here, we have 4 failing tests. Verify tasks are ready for migration execution. Verify tasks are ordered for down migration. Execute up migration, execute down migration. So these two, I thought these were done, so I just popped into that one. Okay, so we do have this here. So we create the test helper, which builds out the sample setup that we're testing against for the integration purposes. Then we have the migration path, which is actually using our class and methods off that class to set up for the migration. Then we pass the returned migration path into file selection to get the files. And then we have the files to process returned, which gives us the migrations to execute. So I'm going to actually put a breakpoint in here so I can refresh my memory with this test of where exactly we're at here. So I'm just going to debug this one test. And I'm also going to bounce this into full-size view here. Bang. I don't know anything about that. It says it has 0 calories and a lot of other crazy stuff for me. So I'm going to be able to program really good today. All right, so we get into this test here, and right here before our assert, this is ready to execute. Okay, so we have a confirmation method that I want to implement. I don't know how or what the confirmation method would be used in the future, and from an anti-pattern perspective, this is a method that would effectively be gold plating. So I don't really need it, but I'm going to implement it anyway just because I want to have like a checkpoint to verify and write a test for. And in the future, we'll come back and refactor some things around this, but it'll be key for future pieces and future CLI triggers for when you're actually doing infrastructure as code or things like that and you want to roll out the schema migration. But right now it is definitely gold plating. So if you look up that anti-pattern, you realize that this isn't the best thing to do. But again, like I said, it's an anti-pattern, but we're going to do it anyway because we're rebels. All right, so at this point we have migrations to execute, and it's null, and files to process. The files to process is 9. We got 9 files to process, right? I just want to take a look at some of them here. And it should have, yeah, there's the down ones, up ones, etc. Okay, so that looks good. Let's go to the next one here. Hope I hit the right key. I forget which next is. Yeah, okay. So now migrations to execute should be populated. And we should have all 9 of those migrations in here. Ready should be set to true. And all that's good. So it looks like I actually implemented this last go round. So I'm going to take off that breakpoint, go ahead and comment out this test, and remove this thing. Oops. Remove too much of the semicolon there. All right. So now I can get in there and just execute that one, and it should turn true. But I want to go into and just reconfirm visually the actual function. Sorry, method. And write too much go. Call everything a function now, even though it's a method versus a function. Pedantic detail, really. So return ready. Ready is set to true here based on the rest of this stuff succeeding. So that looks good. This should throw an error and bubble up accordingly if anything happens. So we should get to ready, and ready should be true at that point. So now we're getting into this realm pretty quickly. All right. So now let's execute this and get a green out of it. Cool. All right. So our test passed. Now we'll get on to the next one here. What would be our next one? Oh, stop running the one. Okay, so verify tasks are ordered for down migration. Let's take a look at that. Verify tasks are ordered for down migration. So I pass in down here. Migrations to execute dot path. So path of migrations, right? Migration down. So the path we're executing is the down path, okay? Right, it is never used currently. Okay, so cert dot, actually we'll probably need to, let's look through it, right? We'll do for each migration and migrations. Do I need to do var, right? Yeah, there we go. Oh no, wait. Oh yeah, migration type. Oh, but I need to do. Oh no, wait, equals. I need to do an equals. Right? That looks good. So what is up with this one? So this one, verify tasks are ready for migration execution. Well, that's what I just did. Why is this not? It didn't pass last time. Maybe just maybe, wasn't actually set up right for it. Oh, no, it passed then. Well, let's execute all of them, right? Run current session, run unit tests, run all the unit tests. Let's see what we get here. Make sure we're not messing with shared state during the test. Each test should create and destroy everything by itself without any problems. Did actually, oh, I didn't run the debugger on it, so it just runs faster. Is that what just happened? Oh, it didn't run all the tests. That's the problem. There we go. That's pretty quick. Cool. So, wow, looks like we're getting to that point where we are about to do an actual migration. Which brings me to, okay, let's get in here before we just go executing this haphazardly. Let's get in here and see what we got going on, right? Oh, this did not open the project, right? Oh, yeah, it is. Okay, so there's the test. Here's the test helpers. This is where I need to add actual SQL code in here. So definitely want to make this where it works very specifically in one direction, right? So we want the ordered bits to go in the correct way based on the dates here, right? So the first one here, I should probably number these accordingly so they make more sense when we read through them. So the first one here is 1902, 2003. Heading out. Cheers. It's beer time for Travis. I don't know if I was supposed to tell the world, but he says farewell. Everybody have a good one. Sends all his love, peace, etc. Don't worry though, I'm still here, so no worries. So 2001 is before 2003. So up. Oh, and here's 2000. So I think that is, oh, that's a no-go. So these no-goes aren't worth messing with. So here, let's do this. We got 1, 2, 3. So this should be 1. This should be 2. This should be 3. This should be 4. And this should be 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Now I'm wondering if am I just setting it up though to add this content in the order, so I'm not actually testing the order by then. So let's see here. What's this fussing about? Oh yeah, sure. Use var. Invert if. Oh yeah, we'll do that. That sounds good. So now we don't have excessive nesting, so that's cool. Migration path. Well, we're gonna go with that. So we're gonna test out the up first. So now we know this is going to be in order here. So let's get over here into database. I'm going to write us some CQL. Attach to. Oh, we need to. So now the question, okay, I'm going to assume that the database is there. We're going to go over here and look in image collateral. No. Oh.
The fob.
So what is, let's see here. So I need to have at least a node, which I haven't done any setup for this project. So in that sense, let's get that figured out, right? We need to figure out and have at least a node. DSE's console. I'm wondering. I'm curious what, well, I wonder if a test can run a script. Like a thing that runs before everything. Or we spin up the Docker image for every one of them, just like we're doing these tests. So make sure every test is isolated per a Docker container. That's another thing we could do. Oh, let's check that out and see, actually. All right, yeah, C# Docker container. Oh, I don't want to do that though. I just want to execute Docker from, yeah, I don't want to do that. So execute Docker CLI from C#. That's what I want to do. Yeah. .NET C# client library for Docker API. Docker.net. Looks pretty cool. Yeah, using Docker client, new URI, this thing. Local Docker for Windows. I don't want to connect to Docker for Windows. I just want to call a connection to Docker. Well, we'll see if that works. Let's actually, well, we're going to add a whole project to do a test around this. So let's see here. Go over here, back into Writer. Let's add a project, new project. And we'll call this Cassandra console. Let's do console application. Yeah, I think that might be. I don't want to. So I don't want to do .NET. I want to do .NET Core. Oh, there. I just was looking at it wrong. Okay, so this one is going to be called our Docker examples project. Hit create on that. Here we go. Okay, so we got the hello world. And then let's get in here. Get in our dependencies. We'll manage NuGet packages. Docker. Docker.net, X509, basic auth. Cool, okay. So this allows you to interact with a Docker remote API program. Programmatically fully synchronous, non-blocking object-oriented code in your .NET applications. Cool story. Let's do that. Oh, no. Wait, that's the name of my project. So yes, let's install that in there. Cool. All right, and then we want to do, so yeah, let's just do this, right? Okay, that's looking good. Don't need that down there. What is this fussing about though? Constructor has 3 parameters but is invoked with 0 arguments. That's not what I wanted to do. Well, what is it? Okay. For a custom endpoint, you can also pass a named pipe. Sample list containers. Let's do list containers then. Docker examples here, and we'll create ourselves a little CLI. So far, these examples are not very nice. Oh yeah, okay, so that's just wrapping around. And what about await here? Do I need to have await there? Let's remove it and oh. No, that's incorrect. So make method main async. Let's try that. I don't really remember how to write that code, so but we're gonna figure it out. And this still needs to what are my bits in here? System new URI. Create client. Anonymous credentials is fine. Right? And then time span is put time span strings. Let's just do 10. Does that work? And then dot create client. Here we go doing random stuff again. This is going to be local host, right? What says here, do this or connect to your local Docker for Windows daemon using name pipes of this stuff. Okay. Create client document. Okay, I'm taking all that stuff out. It says that it doesn't need it, but maybe the documentation is just bad. So what happens if I do this? You give me some bad advice here, writer. Okay, I'm not enjoying that code very much. Let's look back at this. Okay, list containers, default Docker engine on Windows. For custom endpoint, you can also use da-da-da. Create an image by pulling from the thing, start a container. Ah, yes, this is actually what I wanted. Code. What do we got here? So this is gone. Don't need that. Okay, hello world. We know that works. We don't need it though. So process start info. Docker run it rm blah blah blah. Okay, so let's get out here. Docker Cassandra. This is what I need to do. I need to pull that one. Okay. And then let's see here. File name Docker arguments run da 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 da. Okay, so if I wanted to run this stuff, process info equals new process, whoops, process start info Docker what dollar run name this Cassie. That work. Let's do default HD Cassandra 3.114. All right, how far is that going to get us? Create new, no window. I'll probably need to create the thing here. Not parameter. In containing method. Create. Well, okay, we'll do that. Boom. No, I don't like that there. Here we go. And public void. Print. Code. info. Output data received, error data received. Well, all right, let's do this. Let's run that, see what we get. 26. Wait, so what is this wanting exactly? Like, yeah. Trasgit. What's a trasgit? Okay, let's not do anything right now. Let's just do that. Yeah. Weird. So now my curiosity is, okay, so what about, okay, Docker, not list, PS, container ID, Cassandra 3114, 13 seconds ago. So that looks like, yeah, this Cassie, that's it. So Docker stop this Cassie. Cool. So that's, let's see about, don't need that. Don't need that. All right, that's pretty cool. I don't even really need, maybe I don't even need to do that. Maybe we could simplify this process. Just noticed. So I got to give a call out. TwitchCon is officially going to have its Twitch developer meetup thing during TwitchCon 2019. So TwitchCon 2019 has officially become a developer event also. That's pretty awesome. So anyway, back to what I'm doing here though. Wait for some milliseconds. That's like 2 minutes. Begin output read line. Begin error read line. Creating a new window, redirect standard output, true, true. Process info. Process.start info. Oh, process.start. So I wonder if. Okay, so that's the process info. I wonder what happens if I. Let's get rid of this. Just going to kind of narrow down some of this code and see what I really need and what I don't. So it's your Docker. Look at that again. Okay, nothing running. Let's try to run it and see what we get. Oh, yeah, so that's... Let's have to do a little Docker work here and get rid of that Docker image. So Docker... forget what this is. Docker... remove this Cassie. Okay, it looks like it did it. So then let's run this again. All right, did we... Oh, Docker, stop this Cassie. So it created it, but then it nuked itself on something. All right, okay, back to the starting point here. Okay. Oh, I get it. Okay. So we need standard output, standard error stuff. See if that gets us where we want to be. Okay, so then, yep, okay, that worked. So I wonder though, is there like a cleaner way to do this? Again, output reline. Let's see here. C# execute command line. Oh, there's that. Let's see if that actually works. Because that's unbelievably cleaner. Really. see your Docker run name this Cassie network default HD Cassandra 3.114, and that should do it really. So let's get rid of that. Oh, and we'll clean this up so it's not got all that down there. And then we can clean this up. Can I do bash? Oh, I could do Docker and then this, right? Okay, that's cool. And then let's do string move container text equals. Actually, we'll make a method for that. Refactor this. Extract method. Extract method. Create. So this runs Docker run Cassie. Yeah, so that's what we wanted. All right, that's cool. So then private void Docker stop Cassie. Private static void Cassie removed. And then I want to do private static void exec Docker. So command all right. Boom. Okay, and then this one would be exec Docker. What am I doing? Oh yeah, stop. Let's do this. Let's get some names in here. So var Cassie name equals this Cassie. Oh yeah, let's do that. Boom. Okay. And var string. There we go. And then string Cassie version 3.114. And then private. Okay, string network default. So let's do that. Exec Docker. We'll do this way. We'll actually do a builder string command equals run name. Name. Cassie name. Oh, I goofed that up. Let's see here. Yeah, name. D. And then Cassie version. Boom. There we go. So then that, boom. Yes, I know it's funny to do it that way, but it's just, it works better for my head to pull it out that way. Here we go. So that now runs Cassie. This will now stop Cassie. And this will remove Cassie. Boom. Okay. Docker stop Cassie. And then Cassie remove. Right? So here though we can do things. Okay, let's see what we ended up with now. Docker PS. So nothing's running. So if we do a Docker, what's it? Docker, not images. Docker, PS all. So this Cassie wasn't. Oh, did it break because it already ran? That could be the problem. So let's comment this and see if that happens. What? Oh, it is gone. Okay, clear. Let's try from start here all the way through. For testing. And then let's do new GUID dot new GUID. Can we do that? That's such right. Okay. Let's see here. I want to actually, well, I want to put that in here and then do for testing and then get rid of this bit like so. Let's just comment that out for now. Let's run that. Why can't it find that image? Ah. There's 3114 right there. But is it trying to do... I have the commands in there. Well, let's do this. What is it? Print. Whoops. Print. Oh, console, right? Print. Oh, right. Right line. Figure it out in a minute. Derp. Oh. Whoops. That would be the problem. This needs to be... There we go. Let's try that. All right. Yeah, okay. Docker stop. Docker remove. Oh dash. Okay. Let's do Docker remove Cassie. Trucks. Didn't realize I still had all this stuff on here. All right. Cool. So then Docker PS, Docker PS dash A. There. So that should break. Yeah, okay, so now if I run it, it should break. Because the container is in there. Oh no, it's gonna just create a new container every time now. Cool. Okay. And the VM crashed. Woohoo! Yeah. So, booting that puppy right back up. But, so, we did get that figured out. So we just figured out how to issue commands from C# using things to print out to the console and to execute the Docker command. Docker, of course, needs to be installed on the system to execute. And executable of Docker needs to be installed. So it's the Docker daemon itself. It's executing the commands just like we would normally. And that will give us a container basis to spin up for each one of the tests. So now let's actually do that. And I think that will wrap up our session for today. We'll go a little bit over. I am currently in the process of booting that virtual machine back up. So just bear with me a moment here. Almost there. Always starts in the wrong resolution. I really wish I could get that fixed somehow. I always pick 1680 by 1050 instead of 1920 by 1080p. Alright, let's see here. That didn't take too long. So we'll get Rider started in the background. In the meanwhile, let's see what's up here. Docker PS all. So Docker remove Cassie. Remove Cassie. There we go. Okay, down to our 3 here. All right, so I want to steal this command. Go put this over in our test. Set up migrations for tests, so we got that going on. All that stuff. And then create these and then tear down. Okay, so there's tear down and there's setup. Let's do this. Let's do a little refactor real quick here. refactor extract, whoops, refactor extract method. Yeah, we'll just call this create migration files. Is that what we're doing? Oh, create migration file paths. Or no, names. File names. Oh, did I make a weird mess out of that one? Oh goodness, I sure did. Okay, no, let's not do that. All right, there we go. Then more. Oh, I can do this first, so let's do this. Write refactor extract method. Extract method. Write file contents. Files and contents. Right? Yeah. And then this. Wait, then that can be. Yeah, just gonna leave it that way for now. So then we got these helpful bits down here. Shrink those for the moment. And then what I want to do is actually all right, what I need to do is so after all that's set up, then return migration path. Oh, return migration path. So what I need to do is create the Docker container on the setup. Like that. So let's put this down here. I don't need that. Need these though. Okay, they're in there. Why is just write it here then? these files, and then create the exec docker command. Like that. That's what I need. So then create this. String command equals the stuff. Now let's see if we can create this. Create method exec docker. Yeah, there we go. What did I? Oh, I was out in the wrong scope. That's what it was. Okay, so there we go. Let's do system.diagnostics.process.start. Let's say docker. Oops. Command. There we go. And then we're going to get rid of this stuff. Okay, there we go. There we go. And then we'll do files and contents. And let's do exec docker string command equals this. Let's do run. Name. Let's get these in there. Okay, there we go. So that should start that up. Oh, I know what I want to do. I want to do everything here. Refactor, extract to method, create files and contents for integration test. What a weird mess. Okay, so that's down here in all these things. So that function. Exec docker is down here, and that thing within the class. Okay. Okay, so that kind of works. I need to move this stuff though into, let's refactor and move it into Test helpers to fully qualified class name. What? That's where I want to move it to. I want to move it to there. And this stuff doesn't need to be here. Let's take this though. We're going to put it down here in this static class. So we'll need to remove this one, remove this one. I want to knock it out. All right, now the point of all that was we got all this cruft code to build this stuff down kind of out of the way. What is this saying? Oh, that's not unused. It's just not called yet. Right, there we go. So test. Oops, test station tense dot. Oh, this is public for one. And that's called from that, so that can stay private. We get the call made. All right. Okay. Okay. Now we can get a little bit cleaner here. This is delete directory, and then exec docker. We want to do. Let's see. We got these up here. Yeah. Okay. So let's do stop. Okay, I see name. And then let's do exec docker remove. Same thing, right? We don't really need. Oh, this is going to be. Let's do this like so, and then we'll do. All right, migration for Cassie. There we go. Okay. That'll get us renamed better. Now each test should be able to run and have a container for all of these passing, and they should still execute. Nothing should really change, but let's see what the execution time does on these. This should be kind of off the walls nuts. Yeah. There we go. I wonder. Well, it looked like it. Or. Looks like processing is on a wall. Maybe this isn't the best. Oh, I lost the VM again, looks like. That's what it looks like. All right, well, this is going to be continued in the next episode of DataStax's C# Hour. So we got a lot of things figured out this session. One, that testing with Docker will nuke a virtual machine quite rapidly. So I'm going to set up for next session to do this locally without a VM. One. Two, we're going to set up some perf to figure out basically how we can test this, because we need to test this in some way, form, or manner. And it needs to be testable in a way that someone can pull down wherever and be able to test it, right? I think that the ideal way might actually be to create a Cassandra Docker instance, just one, and then run with it from there. Instead of trying to keep it to a broken out integration unit piece of development and work from there, we need to actually get it where the Cassandra node or the Cassandra cluster is running somewhere itself. We'll go with the localhost option and then work from there. But we'll tackle that on the next session. This one, some of the things we've learned have been getting Docker commands issued from C# itself, so that's pretty cool. We also knocked out 2 unit tests on existing functionality that we wanted to have verified for the integration test. And then we figured out a bunch of other calls and other things related to executing Docker, creating a particular Cassandra node, and then tearing that back down. So all in all, good session. Hope everybody enjoyed it and enjoys the rewatches and finds it useful. If there's other ideas, thoughts, etc., as always, ping me, shoot me a whisper via the DataStax's devs or my Adrian Hall Twitch account, and we'll get things going, get more coding going. In the meantime, everybody have an absolutely spectacular Wednesday, and I'll catch you next time.